I'm Charlotte Mombaur. I'm a sophomore here at Virginia Tech, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the public participation tool called Conversation Café. So, what is Conversation Cafe? It is a method for engaging small groups in informal conversations around important topics to build understanding and empathy. Topics like this can include small things in your community, including construction sites happening near your home. To break it down further, it is simply a tool used to get the public brainstorming about an idea or issue. However, it is not a deliberative process intended to result in any decision among the competitive options presented and discussed. We will be listening to some good points from the creator of the Conversation Cafe.
So conversation cafes use a very simple method to help people, as we say, shift from small talk to big talk. Now, what's big talk? We all know what small talk is. Big talk is being able to talk together with people you know and people you don't know about the amazing and complex and challenging times that we're all living through.
Conversation Cafe uses 6 principles to guide conversation. They are open-mindedness, acceptance, curiosity, discovery, sincerity, and brevity. This tool should be used when you want participants to learn more about themselves, a community, or an issue.
The purpose of the conversation cafes, of the whole initiative worldwide, is to promote community, democracy, and wisdom worldwide.
Now, to really dive into the process, I needed to put my glasses on because things are getting serious. Conversation Cafe consists of about 4 rounds. Round 1 includes passing around the topic object for each person to introduce themselves and talk briefly on the topic, with no feedback or response from any other participants. Round 2 is also with the topic object, and each person has a deeper comment and can speak to someone else's comment. Round 3 is more of a dialogue. It's an open conversation. The topic object does not need to be used, but it can be used if you want to. And the final round is also with the talking object, and each person can briefly say what meaningful ideas they gathered from the conversation, and it is used as a wrap-up round. I wanted to bring up a case study example called The Architecture of International Environmental Governments, in which they invited stakeholders to discuss 2 specific questions using a conversation cafe. The first question was, what are the strengths and weaknesses of the current architecture of international governance? And the second question is, what are the key issues in transforming the architecture in international environmental governance? The first step in this conversation cafe was to listen to opening remarks that highlighted the need for both a top-bottom and a bottom-up approach in regards to the 2 questions. In this case study, the participants went through the rounds of conversation and then harvested the ideas that they gathered from the conversation in regards to question 1 and question 2. The harvest in regards to question 1 found that participants believe the framework in existence is both filled with strengths and weaknesses, and that many changes had to be made. The harvest in regards to question 2 found that transformational change needs the reframing of values and new ways of thinking in order to put the environmental issues into a different frame. Lastly, in this conversation cafe, participants were able to vote on any ideas but did not have to come to a conclusive decision. As part of the wrap-up in this case study, participants were able to speak on their experience and voice their opinion on how they felt the Conversation Cafe went and any ideas they gathered. And lastly, in this presentation, I wanted to go over some pros and cons of this tool.
One Conversation Cafe host says her task is for everybody to get up from the table and say, huh, I never thought of that before.
I found the pros of this tool to include that it is informal, it is open to anyone to join, it is very flexible, meaning it only needs a space to host a conversation, a talking object, and somebody willing to host the discussion. It encourages learning, listening, sharing views, and it inspires people to take action. What is the most important is that it stimulates debate and you have the ability to meet new people. Unfortunately, with anything, there are some cons, and to this approach, I found the con to be that it cannot be used to reach a decision on any topic or issue discussed. That is everything I have to say on the tool of Conversation Cafe, and I hope you all gathered a deeper understanding of how the tool and approach is used and were able to see it in action through the case study.